Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. It's Sunday evening, and we are here with the HPEC Season 3, Round 8 already. Wow, what season, it's flown by. What is the HPEC, I hear you asking? HPEC stands for Hybrid Prototype Endurance Championship and is a modern Group 1 league focusing on the cutting-edge post-2012 Group 1 cars and long tactical races. HPEC is one of the most demanding leagues going in our Virtual Racers Club, where every 10th counts on every lap. Drivers will need to be the master of their machines, requiring in-depth knowledge of their car, the circuits and hybrid technology to make the most on a race day. As well as being master strategists, they will also need to be both mentally and physically robust in order to go the distance in HPEC. The HPEC Championship spans 10 weeks and 10 different circuits. The grid for each round will be the reverse championship positions, full table only. The cars, we're using the Audi R18. There is a Nissan GTR, but no one chooses that. Porsche, a 919 Hybrid 16, Toyota TS030 12, and the Toyota TS050 16. The race day format, race will start at 8 o'clock and it will be for 90 minutes. And they have, I'm pretty sure, they have the racing soft, racing medium and racing hard tyres available to use, but the racing softs can only be used for one stint during the race. That's all the information to tell you about that. If I move on to the next column, next room, next part of the Discord, I can tell you it's round 8. We're at the Nürburgring. It's 3.199 miles long, this track, with 16 turns, and if I check my iPad, I think I've got the map layout, so I could tell you some of the corners as we go along. Let me just flick through my iPad. Yeah, Nürburgring, see? The new technology is brilliant. Just click a button and it comes up. It's amazing. So yes, we're at the Nürburgring. It's 3.199 miles. It's got 16 turns and we will be racing for 90 minutes, and the time of day set in game will be 1500 hours, which is 3 o'clock for those non-military people, PM. There's the usual reminders in the brief to take care in turn 1. If there is an incident in the opening lap that involves 3 or more cars, a red flag can be called, and a racing room is expected to be giving at all times. Good luck and happy racing from the host, Skyjacker. Now then, we've got 5 minutes till race off, 4 minutes till race off, so I will run you through the table, but you can check these tables and peruse them at your own pleasure and length of time instead of trying to keep up with my ramblings. You can go to www.virtualracersclub.co.uk, where you can keep up to date with the tables of all the championships that are currently running. But for now, I will read you the HPEC Season 3 after round 7 table. It has Matt Psycho sitting at the top with 124 points, but in second place Racer Brown, already missing 1 round. They dropped 2 rounds a season. He is on 118 points, only 6 points behind, so Matt Psycho won't be dropping 6 points in the first 7 rounds. The lowest Matt Psycho has scored is 14, so that goes to show after drop scores it's going to be very tight. In third, Binko is on 114 points, just 4 points behind Racer Brown. Skyjacker in 4th on 93 points, with Daz in 5th on 69 points. Rivixter is 6th on 56 points. Pat is 7th on 55 points. Jim is 8th on 54 points. IR Graham is 9th on 51 points. He started strong. He had a couple of internet problems, and then I think we lost him to ACC. Rido is 10th on 16 points, Cymex 11th on 12 points, Kale is 12th on 12 points, M4 is 13th on 8 points, and Pup Motorsport 14th on 7 points. But those bottom guys have all just done 1 round and are not really in the championship anymore. What you can see is what we've got on the screen. The competitors with us, we know Mr. Psycho is in great agony right now. So wishing him all the best in the throes of pain. He's turning to the dark side. He's becoming the Sith Lord, so, you know, we've got to wish him all the luck we can. It will give him an extra 2/10 on a lap, so it's got to be ready. It's got to be worth it. Sorry, I said ready because I read Skyjacker's asking if we're ready already. Already? We've got 2 minutes to go. He's like the rabbit out of Alice in Wonderland. Come on, chill, man. Skyjacker, we've got 2 minutes, yeah? Everyone's really off of kilter with these. We like a nice capital R to say ready. Pat's gone with a K because Pat's his own man. Binko's going with A. Daz has gone for a little R. Jim's gone for major ready. We've got a group of rebels on our hands here, and it's got to be sorted out. We have to get on top of this. Oh wow, I've pressed all the wrong buttons. That wasn't the button I wanted. We've got to get on top of this calamity that's happening with the readying up. Admins, message to admins if you're out there. They're not doing the R's properly. So in the stream's chat we have Skyjacker saying hi, do-ho, Smilerino. Ruben saying hey. Ruben also saying hey, nice race. Pat saying hello, and Ruben also saying hey, and Ruben going ah ha ha ha. So yes, don't forget to hit like or dislike of the video, and subscribe if you haven't, because I pop up at least 2-3 times a week. See, it's a test to see how much you can tolerate me. Can you tolerate every stream? It's all this. So let's have a look around, shall we? We've got Binko, he's out there. He's in a Porsche, a relentless Porsche, and the time has gone, so we'll have a quick look. Racer Brown is in Toyota, the old Toyota TSO30. We've got Pat in a newer Toyota, the Golf liveried one. We've got Daz, and that was it. Sorry guys, I let you down. Ours ain't in the rules, buddy. Lol. Damn and drat it. So this is the reverse of the championship table you're seeing on the grid. There's Jim, Pat, Daz, Skyjacker, Binko, and Racer Brown. Missing some big names tonight, obviously. Matt Psycho with his bad back. With Rivixter, he's there obviously taking care of him. Who else is missing? Anyone? I'm not sure. Pat saying neither are the K's. Salvo saying a nice little race early today. Oh, did you now? Very good. Rivam. So Jim is leading them away. Pat in second. We were getting through them, weren't we? There we go. The time has gone for 90 minutes of racing here at the Nürburgring. I found the map, didn't I? I did. It's upside down, obviously. All the writing, I'm not going to read any of that. Too busy. And here they come very fast. Pat's very late on the brakes. He manages to slow the car down, but he impedes Daz a little bit. And Skyjacker there, making his way past Daz already. No, Daz is still there. Daz is still holding it on around the outside. He's had a little tap with Skyjacker, but he's maintaining it. Look at that, 3 green cars. And there comes Binko from nowhere up into third place. But no, Daz retakes that third ahead of Skyjacker in fourth, and Binko is in fifth with Racer Brown there very tight behind in sixth. Pat is just about to take the lead from Jim, and Jim in the Audi. It's very fast. Oh, he's had a bit of an off. As Jim, so he's going to make his way back on, and Pat is leading the race. Is this it? For Pat, is this the first win this season for the hybrid cars? Pat, he's just got to keep a level head, stay out there, keep a good pace. He's on the racing soft tyres. Daz being on the racing medium tyres. Skyjacker also going with mediums. Binko is on the mediums. Racer Brown on the mediums. And Jim also on the mediums. So Pat, the only one on the softs there, keeping his head down. Oh, on Sky. Oh, the big... Oh, with Sky or on Sky, I'm not sure. So Daz had a small off there, we saw, in his alien-aware Toyota. No, Porsche, sorry. The Toyota's behind him. In Skyjacker looking menacing in that monster Toyota, and Binko's there very close behind. Let's get on board with Binko. He's got a ring seat here. He's got Racer Brown looking very close behind. And there we can see the 2 green cars duking it out. Skyjacker trying to get that move up the inside. And oh my word, Daz is on the outside, but he's clinging on. He's dropped down into third. He's just ahead of Binko. Binko's pulling out. He's trying to make a move on him. Binko up the straight. Here we are. We're only just starting lap 2. Crazy racing already. Pat pulling pulling away. Lovely little space. He's got now 1.4 seconds. Keep it together, Pat. Cha, cha, cha. Skyjacker in second place. He's trying to close that gap, but he's on the medium tyres. He's got a lot of work to do. With Binko now up into third place. Daz down into fourth. He's got Racer Brown closing in on him in the car. 86 Toyota Cannon livery. And he's going to cannonball it to the front of this. Wow, none of them bothering with the white line there. They'd all have that lap removed if it was F1. So Pat now 1 second ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker trying to close it in. Let's get on board for the ride with Skyjacker as he tries to close in on that Gulf Toyota. And looking behind him, ooh, he's got a nice fair bit of space on Binko. It's a 90-minute race. We're talking like it's a sprint race. We've only raced not even 3 minutes yet. And there is Skyjacker getting the best sectors so far, as he's trying to chase down Pat. And Daz still holding fourth ahead of Racer Brown in fifth place. And look at them fighting these very powerful cars. 90 miles an hour through that corner. Back straight up to 140, 150. These cars have got some immense power and straight. At the end of the straight, was he getting 74, was we saying there? 174 miles an hour in a straight line for the Toyota of Skyjacker, and he's only 8 tenths behind Pat now. Pat doing an absolute stunning job, keeping it together out the front there. With Binko only less than a second behind Skyjacker. Then we have Daz some 2 seconds behind, with Racer Brown a further 1.6 seconds behind Daz. Saving his car, maybe doing a long run there for Racer Brown, and Jim is catching up behind. 3 seconds from Racer Brown. Racer Brown doing a 45.9 that last lap, with Jim doing a 44.5. And Pat now, he's only just ahead of Skyjacker. Was that a small slide for Pat? Looked like the back end was stepping away from him, but Pat has maintained that lead so far, but Skyjacker is right upon him. On board with Skyjacker, sitting in second place on lap 3 of this 90-minute race at the Nürburgring GP. Just going through Ford and up towards Dunlop. It's quite a fast hairpin, but Skyjacker down in first gear, 60 miles an hour, heading up towards the Michael Schumacher S. And there's nothing in it between these two. They seem to have pulled a little bit away from Binko. Binko maybe saving his car a little bit for the long run. Now we're coming through McLaren, I think. Oh, and he's all up and upon him. He's going out wide as Skyjacker. He's going for the inside line on the chicane, down on the brakes, and he's made the move. He's made the move. He's kept it in between the two white lines, and Pat is down into second, and Binko is only 2 tenths behind him. Further back 4 seconds. Daz still ahead of Racer Brown. Is there some fuel conserving going on further down this field? Are these guys thinking of the long game here? And they're going a bit easier. Ooh, Jim's lost a bit of time to Racer Brown on that lap in the Audi. The Audi, I believe. Not sure, I haven't driven myself, but I think I've heard whispers that the Audi is quite a struggle to drive. Skyjacker then leading the way from Pat, but Pat's on those stickier tyres, trying to find a way past, and he's made himself. Oh, he's got a little slide on through there, and giving Binko the opportunity to draw ever closer to him. It's looking okay so far for Skyjacker, just ahead of Pat, and then Binko in third, Racer Brown fourth, Daz. Oh, Racer Brown's got himself ahead of Daz. So let us have a quick look, see if there's anything we can see with that. Ooh, we just missed it, I apologise. There's Racer Brown. He's just moved up into fourth place, ahead of the Porsche of Daz, his Alienware Porsche. And that is the Cannonball I was talking about. Racer Brown, the Cannonball. Skyjacker just ahead, past, getting in danger from Binko. Binko getting ever closer, having a look. Binko will be wanting to score well while Matt Psycho is away. Ooh, he's had to pull out last minute, but it's just not enough to get up the side of Pat, and now he's fighting his car through the chicane. Crazy there for Binko, keeping it under control there. Oh my lord, and he's having a bit of a lag spike. Skyjacker then 6/10 ahead of Pat. Pat is nearly a second ahead of Binko, and Racer Brown closing in on these guys now, only 3 seconds behind, just on his fastest lap of 42.4, with Binko doing a 43.7 his lap time, 43.0 for Pat, and Skyjacker managing a 42.8. So Racer Brown, he's the fastest man on track at the moment, but Skyjacker has the fastest lap with a 42.027. Jim in that Audi, it's a beast of a car to keep under control, and he's doing an absolute stand-up job at it at the moment. Sorry, falling over my words. Skyjacker then, he's just got to keep it calm. He's in a great position right now. He's leading the race. He's got 1 hour and 22 minutes to stay there. And Pat is a great buffer. Binko not making any headway on him at the moment. And Racer Brown, 3 seconds adrift from them. It's kind of like they're bedding in now, getting their rhythms going, and looking after tyres and fuel at this point in the race. We are looking really for their fuel tanks down there on the dashboard. You can see the hybrid, the little green battery, like your mobile phone battery, going up and down on that Toyota. As you see, it's deploying now with the red arrow down, and the green bar slipping down. And as I believe the Toyota brakes, it harvests, and there it goes, filling back up again. But it's the unhappy smiley face above that you're looking at. That's the fuel gauge, and they want to really be, that fuel gauge, they only want it halfway at about 22 minutes into the race. So far we are 8 minutes in the race, and they've got it just above the quarter of a tank for Skyjacker, so fuel's looking good. These guys don't want to be doing more than a one stop really. I think they lose too much time with 2 stops, although we have seen some people making the 2-stop work. Majority of them do seem to opt to try and stay on a 1-stop strategy. I think it's the Porsches that like to do 2 stops, as they're a little bit thirstier than the Toyotas and the Audi. So Skyjacker then 1.9 seconds. He's pulling it out now, getting himself into a rhythm. Pat still in second though, keeping Binko behind. Did a 43.2 his last time around, but he's doing his 1 stint of softs. They all get 1 stint on these soft tyres. So Pat, but we've seen Pat look after a set of tyres. I think he could take a pair of softs all the way over halfway into this race. I think we may have seen him do it before. So Pat, very good, and I think he's a controller user, which is, I don't know if he is a controller user. I don't, it's tough to say because he looks after his tyres too well for a controller user, in my opinion. Binko, he's on his tail. He'll be enjoying that slipstream, I imagine. It's a good way of saving fuel. Sitting in the slipstream, you can lift off a little bit as you get to the end of the straights, but the thing is, if you're a little bit faster than the guy ahead of you, it will start impeding you and you start losing time. Already they are 2 seconds behind Skyjacker in the lead of this race, and Ruben has left the room. I think he was just sitting in the background just to see what was going on. Pat in second, Binko third. There's Racer Brown, 2 seconds, slowly chipping away at the time for 42.265 his last time around, with Binko managing a 42.7. Very tight, very close times. 42.9 for Pat, so it's very close times up here. Jim did a 44.4 on his last time around. That's quite painful. And Daz has dropped right to the back. It was Jim that was at the back, wasn't it? Sorry, I've missed something there. Daz doing a 51.8. That's going to be painful for him. It's a bitter pill to swallow. Now he's got to get his head down and chase Jim. Flashman in the chat saying evening all. Well, hello. Well, hello there. Skyjacker leading, but he's lost a bit of time as Skyjacker. Pat's pulled a bit of time in on Sky. So 42.9 for Pat last time around. Skyjacker 42.5. So is this lap, but there goes Binko. He's made the move. There's been contact. So Pat still in second place. Binko had a go. He's going for it again up the other inside. of Pat, but Pat making his Toyota very wide, and the Porsche is left frustrated behind. He can see the Racer Brown's chipping away. That time he's having another look at Pat, but he can't quite get up the inside of him. And meanwhile, Skyjacker, 2.5 seconds. Now them two are racing each other. They're slowing each other down. This is playing into Racer Brown's hands. He's less than a second behind him. See, they're coming to him. Racer Brown not having to push, not having to waste fuel. He's got no hybrid coming down the straights. Vinco had a bit of hybrid. And Pat still maintaining that second place, but he's getting a bit of a queue behind him now. Skyjacker running and hiding. 3 seconds virtually ahead of Pat. And Pat fighting for position there in second place, with Binko in third, Racer Brown in fourth. Jim some 14 seconds behind Racer Brown now in his own race, with Daz that's closing in, a 3.5 second gap between those two riders at the moment. And Skyjacker 2.2 seconds ahead of this battle we are having here. If we get on board with Racer Brown, we should, well, they're a little bit too far away. I thought we'd see a nice juicy battle there between Binko and Pat. Coming around Dunlop, hairpin towards Michael Schumacher's S. As they come up the hill, one way then the other. I think I'm going to have to get on this battle here. Pat trying to defend from Binko. Binko having a look either way. He wants a piece. Wants a piece of Pat. Hey Pat. Binko wants a bit. And Racer Brown ever drawing closer. And they're pulling away from Jim. He's 3.3 seconds ahead of Daz now. Daz just a little bit faster than the Audi at the moment. And Skyjacker 2.8 seconds. He's not pulled any further away from this battle here. Look at it. It's beautiful. A bunch of Group 1 cars, all bumper to bumper. With Pat in the Gulf Toyota TS050 ahead of the relentless Porsche. And then the Toyota Canon TS030, designed by Kuikarp, I believe. And Skyjacker 2.5 seconds now. He's not pulling away, he's not running and hiding. And I don't know if that's a lot of fuel saving going on. There's a 43.1 from Pat. It's getting a bit raggedy. Calm down, Pat. Chill. Don't ignore them behind you. They're not allowed to hit you, remember. You can take the race in line as long as they're not up alongside you. You're good. So Pat just calming things down in the cockpit of that Toyota. He's chasing a Skyjacker. Although we've seen Pat at his best when he's got people on his tail. It's when he's on his own. His mind drifts away. He has a few offs, or he pushes too much. It seems to zero him in, his mind set in when he's got someone chasing him. And we see his best when he's under pressure now, and this is what we're seeing at the moment for these first 15 minutes of this race. Pat has stayed ahead of Binko, doing very good lap times indeed. Here he comes around the chicane. Oh, the back end just wanting to get away from him. He's coming up to the final corner, that Coca-Cola curve, and on to the start straight as they head down to Castrol S, or Yokohama S, whoever's sponsoring them. When I looked on Google, there was loads of different ones. So Pat is still keeping Binko at bay. And Binko now, he's got Racer Brown. It must be very difficult to get an overtaking manoeuvre here. 17 seconds adrift is Jim, but 5 seconds further back is Daz. So Daz losing a bit of time on Jim. He was up to nearly 3 seconds behind him. They're to and fro in with their times. Skyjacker, he's not getting any further ahead. It's to and fro in from about 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. As Pat battles Binko. Binko trying to get past now. This is the one. No, they're side by side. And Pat, you've got to give him racing room there, man. And Binko staying on the tail of the Pat at the moment. And Racer Brown in 4th place, getting the best view in the house. of this battle. We can see ahead of us. There goes Binko again, having a look at Pat. Desperate is Binko to get past Pat. You can see, but Pat's on those soft tyres. Pat's tyres will be going away soon though. But I have said Pat does look after a set of tyres very well. And there goes Binko. Is it enough up the side? It looks like it is. Binko has got the move done. Racer Brown trying to follow him through. Pat's in no man's land, but there you go. Pat's staying where he is. Someone's had enough. No, 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 no. Oh my word, the worst thing that could possibly happen as Binko gets past Pat on track is this lead car, the monster Toyota, coming through the chicane. It took a bit of curb and that was it. Goodbye. Oh my word, that is awful stuff for the leader of the race. Oh, his heart must be in his mouth right now. And he's coming in, he's coming in. No need for a pit stop, he's just coming in. So Pat there is the leader of the race. Binko didn't quite get through. So I don't know what happened, sorry, I apologise, so busy with Skyjackers replay that we missed Pat getting back ahead of Binko, and Racer Brown now in third, Jim up into fourth, Skyjacker. Oh no, he's put those supers, he's driving mad. Calm down, Mr. Skyjacker. Calm down, we've got an hour and 11 minutes to go. Plenty of racing. Be calm. Find your inner Jedi. So Binko is now, oh no, Pat's dropped. Oh my word, replay city, sorry. There we go, Pat's gone out wide there. That's what's giving it up for Binko, taking the lead. Racer Brown very close behind. Braking into the corner. Is he braked late? He's braked late as well. Pat's driving angry also. Don't get angry with yourselves, guys. It's a long race. Stay calm, stay chilled. Drive like a robot. So Binko now is the leader of your race with Racer Brown up into second. Pat down into third place. His tyres are starting to look a little torn up though. There is Jim in fourth. Skyjack has managed to get ahead of Daz. He's caught Daz up. After his pit stop, he's put those soft tyres on and he's trying to do some fast laps and some major damage control. Binko then for now is leading the way. And we were hitting the 20-minute mark, and I did say around about half a tank of fuel, around 21 minutes. So Binko does look to be on track for a one-stop pit stop. Racer Brown also looking good for the one-stop. Pat, oh wow, where does he keep his fuel, man? Look at him. And Pat now down into third, but he's staying with those boys ahead of him. Jim 18 seconds adrift of Pat, 10 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. He did a 44.8 his last time. He's doing some lovely consistent lap times. That's all you need to do. And Skyjacker there a 45, but that was an out lap. We'll see the true power of those racing soft tyres now. Oh, in the chat, Bunting saying you. And Daz in sixth, did a 150.1 last time around. That must be how. Oh, that car, Daz is wanting to step out on him. It's a monster of a vehicle. And Binko then 1 second ahead of Racer Brown. We saw Racer Brown absolutely trounce it last week, and in the post-race interviews he swears blind that was the track, not him. The track really suited that Toyota TS030 and the way the hybrid works on it. He said it was just squirt and brake and it worked. Pat in third place still. He's got a good 18 seconds on Jim. His tyres must be going away. He was doing 42s and 43s and now he's in the 45s. 44.3 there for him at that time around. He must be wondering, is it time for a quick pit stop? But it'll have to be a two-stop then, because he'll have to refuel before the end of the race. And Binko and Racer Brown, I assume, both trying to drag it out till the 45-minute mark, and the fuel is looking good for that, but Racer Brown is drawing ever closer to Binko. Did a 42.5 his last time around. Binko did a 42.6. Very close lap times between these two. Pat in third, drifting away from those guys. Tyres starting to go away from him. Skyjacker up. Skyjacker, he's got the fastest lap with a 41.080, and he's just got himself past the Audi of Jim. Oh, it looks like Jim had a bit of an accident. He's got a bit of damage on the front of his car, and Daz is only 4.6 seconds behind the Audi of Jim. This is such a battle between Daz and Jim. And I believe they're quite close in the championship, are they not? Ruben in the chat saying nice little race early today. Yeah, you said that. I don't know which one. And then you said Sky. Is that the one on Sky? You're talking about F1. So Jim sitting in 6th place, 4 seconds ahead. I'm looking for where Jim and Daz are in relation to each other in the table. Jim is 8th on 54 points. Daz is 5th on 69 points. So yes. And Pat is 7th on 55 points. So Pat in a great place. And Jim needs to catch some points on the Daz at the moment. So, oof, tantalising stuff. I think as Jim dropped more rounds though. I know Daz missed the first rounds. And Jim has missed... No, Daz and Pat's missed 2 rounds. Daz has missed 1 round. And Jim has missed 2 rounds. So it's very, very close. Very interesting. Very interesting. With that little battle going on in the table. 3 rounds to go, including this one. Binko is 8/10 ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown trying to drag that Porsche in. He did a 43.096 his last time around. Binko doing a 42.9. Pat managing a 44.1. It's nice and consistent. Those tyres are definitely going away. See that Toyota stepping out on him on almost every corner. He's got to be careful because Skyjacker is like a man possessed there. His monster Toyota reading off those 41s one after another. He is definitely trying to make up ground out there and get that at least a podium, maybe he's thinking. With Pat already doing his soft run out the way, and he's not done it as fast. Skyjacker getting a couple more seconds out that car than Pat managed. Oh no, in the lobby. Oh, did you have a little race with them while you were practicing? Sorry, Ruben. Well, Ruben, he's just signed up to our Discord. He's desperate to have a race, it seems. He's asking people. This is the problem. All the championships, they're all quite getting close to the end, so there'll be all new sign-ups soon. There'll be plenty of racing. Don't you worry, my friend. Plenty of racing coming up. There's some one-offs Tuesday nights with Rivixter. Although Rivixter, he can't make a whole race. He leaves before the race finishes, so I don't know what he's going to do as a host. He'll have to sit there and wait. And Skyjacker then in 4th place, trying to make it back now. And Ruben saying, yeah, in the lobby. And he says, yeah, he's going to join. And yeah, we've got like a Formula 1 thing's just gone up with the Mercedes-Benz F1 cars for a 44 lapper at Spa. That's gone up in an open lobby part of the Discord. And yes, I believe there's going to be a couple of Sunday Cups coming up on Sunday evenings after the HPEC's finished. Just one-off races. I believe the first one is, I think it's going to be a Ferrari at Monza. It was going to be the F40, but I've given it a go, and honestly, the brakes are shocking. I don't know if we could be able to brake for the chicanes in the F40. So Binko's leading 8/10 ahead of Racer Brown, and then after the Sunday Cups, I think there's a Red Bull Junior Championship starting 10 weeks of the Red Bull Junior cars. Tuesday, I know there's something coming on a Tuesday, but it's still under wraps at the moment. Pat in 3rd place, 8 seconds adrift of Racer Brown now. Skyjacker is definitely catching him. That was 21 seconds, it's down to 16 seconds. Skyjacker pulling a 42.2 out of the bag that last lap, and Pat a 47.1. It might be time for Pat to get rid of those tyres, but I'm pretty sure he wants to do a one-stop. I think he prefers the one-stop strategy. He does a bit of testing beforehand. He finds out what the fastest strategies are to him, and I believe he likes the one-stop. But those soft tyres don't. He did a 43.5 last time around though, so is that a right time? Yeah, 43.5, so that 47.1 must have been just a mistake. Keep at it, Pat. Crack on. Binko then. He's only 8 tenths ahead of Racer Brown. These two are to and fro-in. 43.1 from Binko last time around. We're nearly 27 minutes into this race. We've still got way over an hour of racing to go. And these two have been very close this whole race. Pat keeping track of them as his tyres are going down. Skyjacker has already pitted and he's closing in on Pat. This is the thing. One stops are very good, but you've got a Skyjacker very fast closing in, and it might be time to renew those tyres for a nice medium set. We'll see. Skyjacker then. Oh, man possessed in his monster. Jim, 16 seconds adrift from Skyjacker. 8.6 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz not having his best race so far. I believe Daz is one of the only ones, apart from Skyjacker, to get on the podium. Except for the major top 4 or 5, I think IR Graham. I had it all written down last week, sorry, not as. So yeah, IR Graham has been on the podium, as well as Binko, Racer Brown and Matt Psycho. But other than them, I think Daz got a 3rd in the Red Bull Ring. And Skyjacker got 3rd last week at Interlagos. That was a crazy race last week. So can Pat get a podium? Can Pat be another one? He's doing a good job so far, but he's losing a lot of time to Skyjacker, and this is what I worry about for Pat. And he knows Skyjacker's got to make another pit stop. He won't be able to make the end of the race. He pitted way too early for that. And Binko 6 tenths now ahead of Racer Brown. But you feel like this is a bit of a cat playing with a mouse. You know, Racer Brown has got a lot of pace, judging by last week's race in Interlagos, I believe it was. Binko, though, doing an absolutely cracking job there in the lead of this race. 6 tenths ahead of Racer Brown. Pat dropping back a little further, 11 seconds adrift of the top 2. 44.3. His lap times are great. His lap times are brilliant. With me telling him to pit, that's just me wanting something to happen. But his tyres are nearly half worn now, with Skyjacker 11 seconds. It seems to have plateaued there a little bit. He did a 41.9. Last time around, he has the fastest lap of this race so far. Jim in 5th. He's pulling away from Daz. He's doing a cracking job in that Audi. Some great lap times. And you know what? I think, oh, I don't know. Pat is some 10 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. So there's 30 seconds in it between Jim and Pat. But Pat has used a soft tyre. So Pat might be in danger of Jim touching him. If he's not careful, I think Jim's going to be touching him before the end of this race. Binko, though, still holding that lead. Strong and solid in his relentless Porsche. The tyres still looking quite comfortable there. He's got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel, 30 minutes into this race. And it's looking good for a 1-stop. And Racer Brown, oh, Racer Brown, he could try a no-stopper. Virtually, he's really looking after his fuel. I think he can go a lot longer. Binko will have to pit. Oh, Daz has left the room. Oh my lords. So we've lost Daz. Poor Jim. He was racing Daz there for sure. Now he's really got to get his head down and aim at Pat for this remainder of this race. Flashman in the chat. Jim may get locked up for that, mind you. I know. They have to be careful, don't they? So Binko 3 tenths ahead of Racer Brown. It's getting very tight here at the lead. And there goes Racer Brown. There's Mite, and he's got loads of fuel. He's going for an undercut. He's definitely going to go in there. I reckon he's going to put those soft tyres on. He's going to try and do a jump on Binko and leave Binko out there high and dry. Binko heading round. He's going to have to do a corking lap. He'll be checking out that map in his top left corner to see what Racer Brown comes out the pits on. There goes Pat. He's carrying on around. He's not scared about Racer Brown's pit stop. And Skyjacker ever closing in on Pat. It's only 4.5 seconds now between Skyjacker and Pat. 41.6 seconds. 41.670 was Skyjacker's lap time last time, and Pat doing a 47.6. That's not a great lap, Pat. Against the mighty Skyjacker. Racer Brown back out of the pits. No, he's gone for mediums and barely any fuel. Very odd indeed from Racer Brown. That is interesting strategies. He very not much fuel and just seemed to put new tyres on. So Binko, his tyres are looking okay. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. So did Racer Brown. Racer Brown's only put like a quarter of a tank of fuel in there. Do you think Racer Brown accidentally pressed mediums instead of softs? I'm not sure, but that seems strange, only putting a quarter of a tank of fuel in, changing to the mediums. Maybe he's trying to force Binko onto the softs early doors. A little mind games. So Binko out there, 17.3 seconds ahead of Pat now. That's how much Pat's losing on those old softs. And Skyjacker is 3.3 seconds. We saw Pat having a little wiggle in the corner. And Skyjacker very much closing in on Pat now. Less than 3 seconds. This is amazing. There goes Binko. He is into the pits. Racer Brown may have forced his hand there. And we will see. Binko, what's he going to do? Will he short fill? Will he know that Racer Brown's short filled? This is very intriguing. And Pat in second place. No, Pat's taking the lead now, with Skyjacker chasing him down 1 second behind. Racer Brown is taken up into third. There's Binko. He's still pitting. He's topping up. There you go, Racer Brown. He's fooled him. Binko then, he's topped up with fuel, has he? Yes, he's gone over 3/4. He's put the medium tyres on again, and he's 5 seconds behind Racer Brown. And I believe he's going to be scratching his head, saying, what? But Racer Brown short filled and put the mediums on. Skyjacker now leading the race again. He's got himself ahead of Pat. I apologise, hang on. So there we see Skyjacker coming around. Dunlop, I believe, is it? No, Castrol S or something, maybe. And that is how Skyjacker takes that lead from Pat. So Skyjacker back in the lead of the race. Pat in second, Racer Brown in third. Binko some 6 seconds behind Racer Brown. Very interesting stuff going on here. Yellow flag, who's off? Oh, Pat's made a mistake. Pat is having an issue in Dunlop. That's Dunlop, sorry. The other one is Castrol S or Yokohama S. Wow, so Skyjacker 3.7 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. Pat's lost a position, and he's got Binko closing in very fast. And now this has turned into a bit of a 3-man race. Jim has got the opportunity. He's been into the pits. He's put the medium tyres on. Pat struggling ahead of him, and Jim might find himself catching up Pat before the end of this race. Skyjacker then 3.5 second lead on Racer Brown. Racer Brown on the medium, Skyjacker on the softs, but they are wearing down. The fuel is pretty much the same between the two. What is going on with these strategies? There goes Pat. He's definitely getting rid of those tyres, and he is not going halfway. I saw you, Pat. You knocked the barrier. He loves the pit lane barriers, does Pat. So Skyjacker 3.6 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown getting his fastest lap on lap 20 with a 41.781. Skyjacker doing a 41.984. Nothing in it between these leaders. And Bingo there at 140.7. My word. And there's Pat. He's in the pits. Jim is coming around. He's quite a way back, but remember, Pat's got to get used to these medium tyres again. He's topped up with fuel. He's put 3/4 of a tank of fuel on. He's put the medium tyres on. Jim is just coming in to the chicane there. We will see how that develops between those two. A Skyjacker still leading from Racer Brown. Binko in third. Pat's now 27 seconds adrift of Binko, and he's 20 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim, it's on, man. It is on, Jim. You've been doing some lovely, steady laps there, the 144s. We'll see what Pat's pace is. He was doing 42s to 43s on the soft tyres, and let's see how he fares on those mediums. Skyjacker, meanwhile, 3 seconds on Racer Brown in the lead of this race. Racer Brown going faster and faster, and he wants that lead. But what a strange strategy coming in. No, a little splash of fuel. Binko going in. He's putting a lot more fuel in. Binko. He's probably scratching his head. What happened to Racer Brown there? Racer Brown doing a 41.5. Still not fast enough for Skyjacker's fastest lap, which was a 41.080. Salvo Ruben in the chat saying nice lap time from Sky. Tidy numbers. He did it on the soft tyres though. Remember, Racer Brown and Binko are yet to use the softs, as is Jim in his Audi. 23 seconds adrift of Pat at the moment. Pat doing a 42.2 on his out lap. And Jim keeping in those 44s nice and steady for the Audi driver. And Skyjacker still leading. He's under 3 seconds now though. Those soft tyres starting to lose their tackiness. And Racer Brown is starting to twist the screw and pull himself in closer to the Skyjacker. What a battle we are just about to see. Daz in the chat saying knee problems, Sos. No worries, Daz. You race if you can race, man. 41.5 then. And VRC's falling apart. We've got people with backaches. We've got a couple of them with bad knees. We've got some hard-living guys in the Virtual Racers Club. We're like the Expendables. We're like these mercenaries that are all war-wounded, battle-wounded. We're only just being held together. I've just got over a cold. That's my war wound. And Ruben saying, yeah. So, Skyjacker is leading 2, but he's lost another second to Racer Brown. Racer Brown getting ever closer to Skyjacker. Skyjacker's got some questions to ask himself in that Toyota. Like, is it time to pit? It can't be. His tyres still looking quite fresh, bro. And he's got half a tank of fuel. But his race is not with Racer Brown today. His race is pretty much, I believe, with Pat. Pat 23 seconds ahead of Jim, and here we can see what his lap time is, a 43.8 on those medium tyres. Jim doing 44s, a 44.1 his last time around, so Pat is a little bit faster on the mediums. And they've got 50 minutes left of racing. We're already 40 minutes into this race. It's crazy, only 5 competitors, and you know, it's still a very interesting indeed. It's down to less than 2 second lead now for Skyjacker. Skyjacker clinging on with those tyres. They are definitely past their best. And he is trying his hardest in that monster Toyota. But Racer Brown in the older model Toyota 86 Cannon, the Cannonball, is chasing him down. And Binko there putting in more fuel in his pit stop. But it's going to take him quite late into this race, and then he'll do, I'm guessing, a super sprint on those soft tyres and try and catch Mr. Brown up. And Mr. Brown is definitely catching up. Mr. Jacker, right now, look at this. Closing down into that corner. And Skyjacker just trying to stay ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown on the fresher tyres, be it their mediums, but still they're probably a lot more grippier than Skyjacker's old softs. And Binko now up to nearly 10 seconds adrift of Racer Brown, but remember, Racer Brown saved about 5 of those seconds in the pit stops by short fueling. His car will be lighter than Binko's, so he's managing to get better lap times. It might be a clever move. More pit stops. What do they lose in a pit stop? They lose about 28 seconds, so well, shall we just say 26 seconds, 24 seconds a pit stop maybe? But he did a short pit stop, remember. The other guys, longer pit stops, more fuel. And here we can see Racer Brown really closing in on Skyjacker, but Skyjacker doing an absolutely stand-up job, staying ahead of the older Toyota. Binko, this will be helping him out no end. Binko will be able to close that gap down. Pat still, Pat's lost a bit of time. He's done a 44.8. Jim doing a 43.3. Jim really raising the game now. He's seen the rag, he's seen the red rag, he can see the time dropping between him and Pat, and he's starting to push, and Pat's feeling that pressure. You can see Pat off the road 2 times, and the battle is on there for 4th and 5th place. And Jim hasn't done his soft stint yet, which is going to help him out a lot. And Pat again slinging it off the road. Pat is pushing like hell, and that's not going to help. And there's Skyjacker. He's got Racer Brown all up in his business, and Skyjacker trying to make that Toyota as wide as a can of Monster next to a can of Red Bull. And Racer Brown is tactically minded. He'll be looking for a place, and that's it. Has he found the place? No, not yet. He's coming back again though. Let's get on board. Beautiful stuff. So Racer Brown looking for his spot. He knows Skyjacker is ailing on those tyres now. Skyjacker might be wanting to make a pit stop soon. In the chat, Ruben saying it's nice to see the stable times from Sky and from Brown. Yes. Oh, is this the one? Did we miss it? They're side by side virtually. Oh my word. Racer Brown trying everything. Skyjacker making his car as wide as possible. Racer Brown, he likes to do defending videos, and I think this is going to be the one this month. There you see Racer Brown trying anything he can. He's looking again, but Skyjacker putting his car right in the middle of the chicane, giving Racer Brown nowhere to go. And Racer Brown stays behind again for another lap, and he's lost a second to Binko. Binko pulling in that time in 3rd place. And Skyjacker is keeping Racer Brown at bay for now. Cracking stuff there from Skyjacker. As we look back at Racer Brown's attack, you can see there Racer Brown looking for another solution. Racer Brown on the newer medium tyres, fresher medium tyres, as Skyjacker's racing softs drop away from him. Each corner getting more and more used. And we can see car 86 all giving it all up against car 99. Racer Brown looks like he's just taking a break from having a go at the moment. As we go to Binko, 8.5 seconds behind Racer Brown. He's done a 41.9 on lap 24, a 42.6. Pat, meanwhile, a 44.1. His last time around, it's down to 20 seconds with him and Jim. Jim again, a 43.6, 43.3. Wow, Jim is really starting to raise this car. He really is starting to drive the Audi. He's getting nearly a second a lap faster than our man Pat, the Golf Toyota, who's having a struggling phase on these medium tyres. And I think Pat is going to find Jim's going to come up to him soon. Skyjacker is still leading the race, and Racer Brown is just trying to throw everything at Skyjacker to try and get past. At the moment though, the lap times aren't dropping too badly between them and Binko. Skyjacker pulling over and going back out again. Racer Brown's trying to stay with him for the tow as they come around the first corner. Ooh, Castroless, and Skyjacker's out quite wide, but there's nothing there that Racer Brown can get any kind of traction on at the moment. Flashman saying, love the rear camera view, thank you very much. Oh, it's close stuff here, really close contact. Let's give it another go. He backed off last time I went on it. He's doing it again. So looking back from Skyjacker, the lead of this race, we're at the 45-minute mark, halfway through, and at the moment Racer Brown is looking for anything to get past Mr. Skyjacker, and on Skyjacker on his soft tyres, doing nice mid 42s, which is just too fast for Racer Brown to be able to get past. So Racer Brown sitting in Skyjacker's wake for the time being, although you can bet your bottom dollar they're probably doing some fuel saving while he's there, chasing down. Ooh, very close there from Racer Brown as we come through a very fast right-hander up to the chicane. This is where we're going to see Racer Brown really close down on the braking. And he's going for it. Up the inside, this is the one. They're side by side going up to the final corner. Skyjacker and Racer Brown, but Racer Brown's too far back to make a move, but he's got that inside line now, and Racer Brown's showing up above. Skyjacker, he's there again. They're side by side, there's nothing in it, and Racer Brown's come back over to grab the toe. My word, that was very close, and now I've got to go back on car to change the camera because it'll be pointing backwards and it'll freak me out next time. Whoa, 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 whoa! Racer Brown's dropped it in the first corner, giving Skyjacker a bit of breathing space, and Binko, he's still that 8-point-something seconds behind. He did a 43.0 himself that last lap. I think he's fallen asleep on his own out there. Pat did a 150. Oh my lord, that's terrible lap time from Pat there. His last time around, we saw he was driving quite wild off of the corners, and it looks like he's been pushing too much, and now Jim is only 13-14 seconds behind. We've got 42 minutes left of racing here, and Jim can do this. He really can. Pat is going to have to watch his six because he's got an Audi hunting him down. It's Toyota season and the Audis are out there looking. So Skyjacker, wow, look at this race between Skyjacker and Racer Brown. Nothing in it at all. But Binko's getting ever closer. He's down below 8 seconds behind these guys, and his fuel is so much better. You can see he's got half a tank of fuel, with Racer Brown just down to a quarter of a tank of fuel. Skyjacker just over a quarter of a tank. Look at Skyjacker's tyres. My word, how is he getting these lap times out of this car? A 43.3. It looks like Racer Brown helped him out the corner there with a little friendly nudge, pushing him along, maybe working together to try and get away from Binko. Binko's still there, 8 seconds adrift of these guys, and Skyjacker still remains ahead, 42.9 from Skyjacker that time around. Racer Brown a 43.1. We did see he had a little leery moment in the first corner, had a bit of a slide on. We all need a slide on once in a while. So Skyjacker leads the way from Racer Brown. Binko in third place, 8.3 seconds behind. I've got a feeling Binko's doing all right here, you know. I think Binko, he's got more fuel. His tyres, well, Racer Brown's tyres are very good, but Racer Brown's definitely going to have to pit a lot earlier than Binko. But then when Racer Brown does pit, he's going to be putting the softs on, and then Binko will be worried. Interesting. So Pat there, he's done a 43.4 that lap around. He's only 14 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim did a 44.1. Must have got a little bit giddy, seeing how close he was drawing closer to Pat. And there we go, 43.6. He's back on track again now. 43.4 from Pat. It's a very close battle out there. One car drops it and they're out of it. And there is Skyjacker. His tyres are absolutely screaming out to be changed. And Racer Brown is sitting on his six, giving him a large. I love that windscreen on the Toyota, the Racer Brown's Toyota. It's cracking. And is that part of a livery editor or something, or is that just the way that windscreen is on the Toyota? Oh, the Toyota. There goes Skyjacker. He's gone into the pits. He's getting rid of those soft tyres. Racer Brown has been released, but he's only got a quarter of a tank of fuel. And what can he do? With Binko 7.3 seconds behind, Binko is going to start raising the odds on that car now. He's going to start pushing. He knows Racer Brown's not being held up anymore by... Oh, sorry, I keep changing cars after I press that button. It must be freaking you all out. That's Racer Brown. He's in the Canon Toyota TS030. And Racer Brown 7.6 seconds ahead of Binko. We are less than 40 minutes of racing here for round 7 of the HPEC3, or the HPEC as we all call it lazily. We've got Skyjacker now. He's out of the pits. He's 23.6 seconds behind Binko. He's on the medium tyres. And Bingo, half a tank of fuel. Skyjacker, he's got over 3/4 of a tank of fuel. We've got to guess that's what it takes to get all the way to the end of this race. And Pat, 25.6 seconds adrift of Skyjacker. Did a 43.9 his last time around. He's 14.7, so he's pulled a bit away from Jim. Jim doing a 44.6. But it's very tight between Pat and Jim. I know they've got 14 seconds between them. But remember, never forget, Jim has still got his soft tyre run to do yet. So Racer Brown is leading the race. He's had the last 3 wins here. We'll have to change his name to Max Brown, as he crosses the line with a 41.9. He's 8 seconds ahead of Binko. I don't believe Binko's had a win yet this season. It's got to be his turn pretty soon, hasn't it? I think our winners have been IR Graham's won 1. I believe Racer Brown has a 1-4. And Matt Psycho has 1-2. Does that math right work out? 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. Binko yet to win a race this season, but he's been in the championship run all along. He hasn't been off the podium, I don't believe. Oh, he might have done round 3. Oh, Monza, yeah, he had a nightmare at Monza. I think his knee gave up. Oh, and Interlagos, I don't think he got on the podium. But still, a cracking run from Binko this season. 8.2 seconds behind Racer Brown. But remember, he's got more fuel than Racer Brown. And so it could be anyone's business here. Binko could still take the win from Mr. Brown. Skyjacker isn't out yet. Although Racer Brown and Binko have both got to do their soft runs on their soft tyres, with Pat already doing his at the beginning, and Skyjacker doing his in the middle, and Jim is yet to do his also. And he is 15 seconds behind Pat at the moment. Pat's on the fresher tyres. He did a 44... Oh no, that's Skyjacker, sorry. He did a 43.8 last time around, with Jim doing a 43.9. Nothing between it. It is going to take a mistake from... Oh, I don't know. I keep saying that, but Jim's got his soft tyres to run. But will Pat? And Pat's going to have to pit, I think, before the end of this race. He's not got enough fuel to go all the way. He pitted a little bit early, didn't he? I think he was hoping to go halfway, but his tyres just couldn't live up to it. And there is a Racer Brown sliding the car around, but he's pulled another second out on Mr. Binko, so we know Racer Brown's getting ready for a pit stop because he's pushing. And that's Skyjacker out there. He did a 42.0, his first flying lap on the new medium tyres. 23 seconds shy of Binko, 32 seconds shy of Racer Brown, and obviously them two have got a pit. Skyjacker might still be in with a shout, you know. That soft tyre session that he did, the lap times he maintained, he's put himself into contention here. The problem is he's on the medium tyres, where Racer Brown and Binko will both be on the softs. But after their pit stops, Skyjacker will be there knocking on the door, and he will have an opinion about who will win this race. Binko more under threat from Skyjacker than Racer Brown, but I don't think Racer Brown's untouchable. That's why Racer Brown right now is slapping in the lap times, and obviously as the drivers they can only see the distance from the car in front of them and behind them, so he will not know how far behind Skyjacker is at the moment. He can do some guessing at looking at that map. With only 5 competitors, it's pretty easy to guess who is where. Looks like he's just coming up to... No? Yes, you can probably guess who Skyjacker is. And Pat now, 15 seconds. He's maintaining that 15 seconds. Lap 31. Did a 43.9. Jim managing a 44.0. Nothing in it between these two. And Jim just holding Pat to that 15 seconds. But I guarantee after their pit stops, and Jim will be on the soft tyres, he will be pulling Pat in a second a lap, maybe, possibly. Racer Brown, 9.3 seconds now ahead of Binko. Binko did a 43.0 last time around. Is Binko really, I think he really is trying to save that fuel, but he's not. Can he make it last half an hour? We were talking about making half a tank last 20 minutes, and he was doing very well with the fuel. It'd be a very interesting strategy if he's going to try and make that fuel last all the way. I think it might be impossible, but I don't like to say. And Racer Brown, he's burning through it. He's got no choice. He's got to pit. And Skyjacker, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I think he's made his final stop. He pitted quite early to go onto the softs. Done an absolutely unbelievable pace whilst being on the softs. Put himself back into a podium position. And now he's just waiting for the boys ahead of him to pit. That's ridiculous. Binko's not going to make that fuel last 32 minutes. Sorry, I'm leading you up a dark alley there, because now give me all your money and your wallet, because he cannot. It's impossible. He's not going to make that fuel last. So Racer Brown, he will be pitting imminently, very soon, I believe. 42.0 there. The car is virtually empty though. Them medium tyres aren't overly used. It's not all bad. He's 10 seconds ahead of Binko. Binko's 22 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. A 42.1 from Skyjacker that time around. Binko a 42.9. So it's tense, but it's it's going to be close with the pit stops if Binko pits, but I believe Binko will pit. It's still holding that 15-second mark between Pat and Jim. Pat coming around the final corner. What's he going to post this time around? A 44.7 for Pat that time. And Jim, remember, his tyres starting to go. His fuel's quite low though. He comes around and posts a 44.1. So he's still a little bit faster than Pat at this point in the race. One to keep our eye on near the end, and there we go. Racer Brown is in the red. His fuel is down into the red. He's only got a lap, maybe two left in that tank, and he will have to come into the pits. He's opted to go around again, dragging it out. He wants to be on those soft tyres for the shortest time period possible. Now Binko, I think he's starting to 42.9 that last time around. What's he going to manage this time? A 42, 43? I'm not sure. I don't know if he's messing around like saving fuel or not. I don't think it's enough fuel, but he can go very late. He could go very late and wait till Racer Brown's tyres are pretty much torn up, as Racer Brown will have to go in pretty soon. Skyjacker, he's drawing ever closer to Binko, which makes me think that Binko is fuel saving, but for what? For what reason, if you've got to come into the pits anyway? It's not going to get a 1/4 of a tank of fuel to last half an hour. For show. Pat then, 14.8 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim still to do the soft stint. And there we see Pat crossing the line of 43.3. Good lap times from Pat and Jim. Jim's low on fuel. He'll be coming in for those soft tyres pretty soon. And then we will see the fireworks begin. He crosses the line with a 44.3. Racer Brown, meanwhile, he's got to pit at the end of this lap, surely. Maybe he's got another lap in that car. With the hybrid, it does help. It does help the cars get around. And there he goes. He's gone in. He's gone in. And now what is Binko going to do? He's lost 12. He's 12.3 seconds behind Racer Brown. He's got 1/4 of a tank of fuel. His tyres still look quite fresh. He's going to carry on for a while. Now, Skyjacker, how much closer can he get to Racer Brown? Remember, Racer Brown, he's not even got to his box yet. Binko's already passed. And on his way. Skyjacker's in the final chicane. It's going to be too much to ask from Skyjacker, I believe. Racer Brown not having to put that much fuel in. He's going to put the soft tyres in. Binko on his way, merrily away. I don't know. I don't know. Anyone watching? Do you want to say what your opinion is? Is he going to get? There's no way he can make quarter of a tank of fuel last, can he? For the rest of this race, surely not. So Racer Brown is back out. He's only 1.8 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, but he is on the soft tyres. So watch out, Binko now. 17.5 seconds behind Binko. He's putting just over half a tank. Yeah, well, that's definitely sealed that Binko has not got enough fuel on that car to get to the end. And Skyjacker, how close did he get? What a great run from Skyjacker on those soft tyres. Ooh, don't spin it now, my friend. And there is Skyjacker in a third place. Pat, oh, 33. Oh, no, what's happened? Pat is 33 seconds ahead of the Jim. I think Jim may have had an issue this lap. Yeah, 150. He's only going through the chicane. Oh, Jim, and he's going round again. He's really low on fuel. And I am gutted for you, Jim. It looked like it was looking like a very tantalising battle between Jim and Pat. I believe they both needed to pit again, but Pat has to finish the race on the mediums. Jim can put the softs on. You never know. 27 minutes left of racing. Anything can happen. Binko then, a 16.3 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. He did a 43.1 his last time around. Racer Brown will be absolutely flying on those soft tyres. Can Skyjacker keep his fastest lap of a 41.0? Skyjacker 2.8 seconds behind Racer Brown now in the chat. Ruben says, yeah. Ruben says, how can Sky? It is a shock. And Ruben says, no, he can't. If he can't, he is a god. Yes. Now, I don't think he can't. I don't think he can make that the fuel last. But it doesn't seem to be dropping any. And that's about, I said at 30 minutes it was just at a quarter. And we're already like nearly 3 minutes after. And it hasn't moved much. 15.2 seconds ahead. There goes Pat. Pat has come into the pits just to top up with fuel, fresh tyres. Jim, I assume, will be copying him. Well, doing the same because his fuel is pretty much out. And Binko's down to 14.6 seconds now. Coming around. We've got 26, just over 26 minutes left of racing here. And I don't know. He can't do. Racer Brown wouldn't have put half a tank of fuel in if you could get to the end of the race with a quarter. Racer Brown is one of the best. There he goes. He's just about to obliterate Skyjacker's fastest lap. Jim also into the pits. Pat's fueled up and out. Half a tank. So yes, he definitely needs another quarter of a tank for Binko, and Binko is in. There you go. That answers the question. Racer Brown will retake the lead of this race, but Binko, he's going to be on the fresher rubber. He's not going to have to pit as long as Racer Brown did. A 140.688 for Racer Brown that lap. And he's pulled away from Skyjacker, 4.6 seconds. Does Skyjacker get that second spot from Binko? He does. So Skyjacker up into second. That stint where he did on the softs. He's really injected himself into this race. 5 seconds adrift from Racer Brown. And Binko back out on the track. 10 seconds adrift of Skyjacker. But he's got some racing softs on, which means he'll be a lot faster than Skyjacker. Is a fuel. He's put quite a lot of fuel in, hasn't he, next to the other guys. Everyone else has gone for half a tank. He's gone for about 3/4. And Pat then is 50 odd seconds ahead of Jim. Jim had two quite bad laps in a row. Poor Jim. It was all going his way as well. At one point, he just seemed to get a bit unlucky. It was looking like this race was going to come to Jim. Now Pat, let's put some fresh rubber on, and he's pulling in some good lap times of 42.4 for Pat last time around. Jim's on his outlap. Yes, he did a 2:03. We saw he dropped about 15 seconds or so from Pat, so that would be the 2:03. And then it's 2:29 a lap on lap 36 would have been his pit stop. So still, maybe, possibly, but he's going to need a little bit of luck. He's going to need Pat to make a mistake, I think, before the end of this race. Racer Brown, another 1:40.7. Unbelievable lap times from Racer Brown. Skyjacker's dropped 10 seconds, and Binko's pulled it into 5 seconds behind Skyjacker. Skyjacker doing a 47.0, not his best lap that last time around, and Binko doing a 39.6, but that was an out lap. It'll be this next lap we see a true picture of what he can do on those soft tyres. Pat making his way around in that sexy Gulf livery. 42.4 for him. Oh, that was an out lap though as well, so Jim managing a 44.7. No, that was an out lap. Sorry, they were all out laps. Look at him getting purples again, Mr. Brown. This will be his 4th win in a row in the HPEC season. Skyjacker, he's moving on up the ladder, but he's only 3.5 seconds behind Binko. Binko on those soft tyres, absolutely trouncing it behind Skyjacker. Skyjacker's going to be a sitting duck before the end of this race. 22.5 minutes left of racing here at the Nürburgring for round 8 of the HPEC3. And Racer Brown out of this world. Look at him go. Another fastest lap of 40.196. Is he going to get it into the 39s? Binko coming around the final corner. He's on a fast lap himself. Can he take the fastest lap from Racer Brown? Ooh, a 40.7. Very close. He's pulled in to 3 seconds behind Skyjacker now. We've only got 22 minutes left of race. See, 90 minutes. It sounds long, doesn't it? But look at it. Already gone. We're down to 22 minutes. $14 seconds lead Racer Brown's got now on Skyjacker. Can Skyjacker keep hold of that 3rd place? We saw Racer Brown could not get past Skyjacker on the old softs. And is Binko gonna have the same issues as Racer Brown? We're sat on board with Binko as he closes in on Skyjacker. And we've got 21 minutes. We've had an hour and, well, 1 hour and, excuse me, 9 minutes of racing so far. Unbelievable stuff we've had. What did we start with? 6. And Daz's knee gave out on him. We had looked like a very close battle brewing between Pat and Jim, but Jim making a small mistake we didn't see, dropping him back further from Pat. We saw Skyjacker spinning out of the lead of this race, going into the pits, putting some soft tyres in and doing an absolutely barnstorming stint on his soft tyres to put himself back into a podium position, getting himself ahead of Pat and Binko. And we saw Binko and Racer Brown, nothing in it between them when they were racing each other earlier part of this race. Racer Brown going into the pits. I think he sold Binko a dummy, and he put a lower fuel. He short fueled his car. Binko pitted the next lap and put in a full tank virtually, giving Racer Brown a 5-second lead on him. And after that, Racer Brown with the lighter car just pulled out more and more time on Binko, and still is. It's down to 1.2 seconds behind Skyjacker now. Skyjacker will be fully aware. Oh, what did I press that for? Ruined me in car thing. Sorry guys, I don't want to see that. Oh my god, I'm ruining everything. Hang on, I meant to come, oh no, not that view. I meant to come out of the car first, you see, before I press numbers, and then I can look around. So Racer Brown is 15.6 seconds leading this race so far. Lap 41 with 19 minutes left of racing here at the Nürburgring for round 8 of the HPEC Season 3. And what a humdinger. And there we see Skyjacker with Binko very close behind. Looking back, we've looked back from Skyjacker's car the most, I think, this evening. He's had so much pressure to deal with from behind. But at the moment, he's maintaining that second distance from Mr. Binko. Mr. Binko doing a 41.5 his last time around. Skyjacker managing a 42.3 with Racer Brown doing a 41.7, so he's not going as fast as he was in those 40s. Don't know if he's conserving fuel, maybe. Half a tank of fuel in 18 minutes should be okay. Similar to Skyjacker's fuel levels. Binko's got a... oh no, yeah, he's down to half a tank of fuel. I thought he'd overfilled this, but no. Obviously not, and Binko very much close to the back of Skyjacker now. So we'll give this another go. Looking back at the relentless Porsche. It's a bunch of Toyotas tonight. Toyota, Porsche, Toyota and Audi racing each other. We will check out the battle between Pat and Jim. Oh, that was a beautiful shot. Saw the stones kicking off into poor old Binko's windscreen. That's how Skyjacker's staying alive. He's kicking up dirt in his face. Oh, is this the move? It's looking very close here for second place. We've got 17 minutes left of racing, just over, and Binko is all up in... oh no, there you are. No, that one. And Binko is there, on the tail of Skyjacker, but Skyjacker, we know he can defend. Skyjacker just stays ahead of Binko as they come around that final corner, the Coca-Cola curve, onto the start straight. Skyjacker pulling right over to not give, or if Binko wants a tow, he'd have to follow him over, but Binko says keep your tow, not fussed. Racer Brown, meanwhile, 17 seconds ahead of these guys. Pat still 50. Oh, Binko's made the move already. Skyjacker, oh no. Skyjacker looks like he's had issues in the first corner. Here we see Skyjacker versus Binko. Skyjacker pulls out, brakes heavy down into the first corner. And oh, that little dip just caught Skyjacker out. He's got to get going quick or he'll have a Pat chasing him up. And there he is. Oh, he's a minute ahead of Pat, so it's not too bad. It was always going to be hard work keeping Binko behind. And see a Racer Brown, a 41.7. Last time round from him, he's cruising it now. 17.3 second lead with 16 minutes to go. I think Racer Brown can bring her home. And Ruben saying no. It was always going to be tricky though, Ruben, with Binko on the soft tyres and Skyjacker on the older medium tyres. Pat there, a minute behind Skyjacker, 48 seconds ahead of Jim. Did a 45.1 his last time around. Jim a 42.6, a 42.9. Jim really enjoying those soft tyres. Oh my. Oh, if he'd pitted that one lap earlier, Jimbo. Just one lap earlier, I'm sure, in his debriefing with his team. Oh no, don't listen to me. He's had a wheel problem there, I think. That looks like a total wheel malfunction. As Skyjacker comes into the pits, wants to get rid of the medium tyres. And why not? He's got enough space behind him, with Pat being a minute behind. Looks like Jim having a wheel malfunction in the final corner. And Racer Brown, no malfunctions for Racer Brown as he makes his way around on lap 44. And we have got just over 14.5 minutes remaining in this race. 90 minutes of glorious racing here at Nürburgring, looking at the modern Group 1 cars, and they are absolutely magnificent. There is Racer Brown in the TS030 Toyota 2012, taking his 4th win of the season. Unbelievable stuff. Binko, second place in the Porsche 919 Hybrid. 2016. And bringing her home in second place so far. It looks like nothing's going to change in the next 14 minutes. Skyjacker nipping into the pits, putting some fresh mediums on. And he's going to bring her home for a second podium position for him. So not all bad. Pat in fourth. He's extended that lead from Jim, but we did see that Jim had a bit of a problem in the final corner. And Pat doing a very good race today with not many issues and hardly any, well, I haven't seen any offs from Pat, so cracking stuff. He's getting on top of that Porsche, ready, Toyota, sorry, ready for season 4. Sorry, we're on season 3. It's just I've only covered 2 seasons. I missed the first season totally. I think it was before my time. So a race around 16.5 seconds. I think I am Group 1 season 1. But Racer Brown for now, 16.3 second lead. And he's looking like he's heading towards his 4th win in a row. And what's it? His fifth race win this season. Unbelievable. Yeah, he's got 4 wins, 3 in a row. This being his 4th in a row, putting him up to 5 wins out of 8 rounds. Unbelievable stuff for Racer Brown. Binko, 15.3 seconds adrift from Racer Brown. He was there, wasn't he? It was just that pit stop seemed to do it. When Racer Brown didn't put as much fuel in. It seems to be the defining moment between Racer Brown and Binko in this race, because all through the beginning, them two were inseparable. And Skyjacker, a cracking race from Skyjacker, leading the way, spun out, thought that was it, over and done. He nipped into the pits, put some soft tyres on, and proceeded to do some very, very, very strong lap times and put himself into a podium position. So wonderful stuff from Skyjacker, I think. We've just got 11.5 minutes left of racing. Let's just having a quick look in the Discord. Like I said, if you're in our Discord and you fancy racing, there are things starting to open up in the open lobby section with Rivs Tuesday Madness. It's the Group 2 cars, I think, going to be doing 4 races, it looks like. Bathurst, not all on one night, a race a night, a Tuesday night. And that looks like Mount Panorama, Monza, Kyoto Park, the full 2-track combined, Blue Moon Bay and Dragon's Trail in the free choice of Group 2 cars. So there's always that if you fancy signing up for that. You've got a Mercedes-Benz F1 Spa race that's going to be run by me. I'll have to check. Tuning is not allowed, I suppose, says Sharon. No, tuning is allowed, man. Back on. And then Wednesday, GT3 testing on the 17th of July. We've got some GT3 racing testing to do. So, and pretty soon there's going to be sign-ups galore going on in the sign-up section, so keep an eye out. So there is Racer Brown on his way to his 5th victory this season. Binko is always a bridesmaid. He's not quite made it up there to the altar yet. Don't worry, Binko, someone will take you there. But Binko in 2nd place, Skyjacker 3rd. He's got in a great run of form at the end of the season for Skyjacker. 2 podiums in a row. And Ruben saying Sky is a god on old tyres. Flashman saying looking forward to the Sunday Cup. Yes, the Sunday Cup will be back in 2 weeks after HPEC. Like I said, it should be an Ferrari F40, but the brakes are absolutely shocking. I had a quick test at Monza, and it's ridiculous the amount you've got to brake for the chicanes, so I might try a couple of the different Ferraris out. But I really fancy doing a Ferrari car at Monza, because then I want to do a Lamborghini car at Magua for the second week. And the third week, oh, am I giving too much away? Third week of Sunday Cup, I'm thinking the Expo at Goodwood. The Crossbow, sorry, not the Expo. I know it's not the Expo. It's called a Crossbow, isn't it? So there goes Racer Brown again, coming around. There's just nothing no one can do about it seems. Pat, he's done very well. He's getting lapped now by Racer Brown. But he's had a very steady race out there. He could have been under threat from Jim when Jim put the soft tyres on, but Jim's had a bit of a shaky couple of laps along the way. What are you doing? What are you being what?
I need.
Why are you?
Yes.
Well, I've got a text up. What do you want Amazon to do?
Allow me.
For what?
So I can re-register my Alexa.
Okay. So Racer Brown is leading from Binko. Why do you want to re-register your Alexa?
It says register to my number.
Yeah, I know. But you moaned about Amazon Music saying it's not as good as Spotify. So Racer Brown's leading from Binko, and Skyjacker is in third spot. What a cracking race, and those top three have had. Pat in fourth. He's still getting blue flags, but Racer Brown's not quite caught up with him. I'll tell you what, shall we get on board with Racer Brown while he laps someone? Gives us something to watch. He has, I must say, has spaced out a bit these last 10 or so minutes, but it's good. I've got to tell you about the races coming up. Oh, and after the 3 Sunday Cups, I believe the Red Bull Juniors will be starting again on a Sunday evening, so keep an eye out for sign-ups. I've been writing the rules up for those. There goes a Racer Brown. Oh, shall we have some fancy shots? Why not? We'll go for some far camera shots, have a little bit of whoosh. I haven't done a whoosh for a while, have I? I just hit it now. On the wrong cars, usually. That's old school, whoosh. Whoosh. There we go. And Racer Brown and making his way around on lap 49. My word, these are remarkable races. 90 minutes racing is... I don't know myself how they do it. I'd be absolutely cream crackered. Oh, and we've got the 2.5 hour endurance race coming up. I don't want to give anything away, but I think it's Nürburgring in the Group 4s. That's giving everything away, isn't it, I suppose? Sorry, homesick. No one watches me anyway. No one's listening to me. They're just watching the television. They don't care about what I'm saying. So Racer Brown 15.4 seconds ahead of Binko, who is 36 seconds ahead of Mr. Skyjacker, a 42.2 from Skyjacker. He's had good pace today, just 2 small spins, has really crumpled up his afternoon of racing here. Pat, 52 seconds. Jim's gone into the pits. I don't know why. He's not happy with something. At the end of this race, with only 5 minutes left to go, he's gone in and he's put some fresh mediums on, and he's back out on the track again. And Racer Brown making his way around, and Flashman saying, "Ooh, crossbow. Yeah, I'm here," says Ruben. And Flashman saying, "Will the Red Bull Juniors be restricted or not?" Restricted? Oh yeah, I think we're just running them at 100. There's some interesting bits and bobs we've come up with. We're not running them as full whack like last time. They were just ridiculous. They couldn't control them. But yeah, there's no tuning on the Red Bulls. I think we're just going to make it nice and straightforward. So it's just going to be the no tuning, but we're thinking about success ballast for the Red Bulls, but only for the top 3 for the next race. So it should vary it up, and we're going to try something new with the points. So keep your eyes open in the sign-ups for the new rules of the Red Bull Junior X Series coming soon. I'm trying to think what else is coming soon. There's other things. I think GTMC, there's news on that in the future. I think that might be moving nights. Lots to be looking forward to as we get under the winter stages of the VRC seasons. Racer Brown, meanwhile, bringing her home again in the lead. We'll have a look around. I know I've been watching Racer Brown a lot. Now, Ruben, you've got to be careful, man. You can't sign up. Some of these guys will tell you, you get fanatical, you sign up for everything, and it burns you out. You start forgetting what cars you're in. And then everyone starts moaning that they're oh, I'm not doing very well. Oh, I'm not doing very well. And it's because they're trying to race like four different races in 4 different cars in a week. You've got to pick. I'd say do 2. I'd say have 2 championships running at the same time. More than that, your head starts spinning. It really does. So Racer Brown looks like he's struggling out there on lap 51. Looked quite slow in that corner. Binko hunting him down. 15.8 seconds. He just can't get any closer though, can he? A 41.8 from Binko on lap 50, with Racer Brown doing a 41.8 and a 42.4. So Binko is slightly faster. Can Binko get a fastest lap? I don't think so. I think his tyres are gone now. Racer Brown's fuel, it's nothing different between their fuels. So Skyjacker's in again. That's what, his 3rd or 4th pit stop? 3rd? He's gone for hard tyres. I wonder why. Hard tyres in the last 2 minutes maybe. Testing for next week. Trying something out. Seeing how slow they are. Possibly. Interesting stuff. Pat. He's 59 seconds behind. And Jim. We saw him going in the pits again, and he's lost the Audi. And Pat's coming up to lap him, I believe. There you go. So Jim having a rough race today in the car 66 Audi, as Racer Brown makes his way across the line. Start lap 52, and we are on within the last 2 minutes of racing. I'm not going to say this is the last lap, because I bet you any money he's going to cross the line with like a second to go and do a lap on his own. We've seen that before in the HPEC. Binko, I'm pretty sure he's on his last lap. And Skyjacker's on his last lap on those hard tyres. An interesting choice. I'll have to ask him on the Discord what the hard tyres was about. Maybe he's testing something out. Pat there, oh, he's got a wiggle on, but he's got a lap on the man behind him. So he can just bring her on home. And Jim, poor Jim, I don't think he's enjoyed this race somewhat at the Nürburgring. And Racer Brown, 16-second lead from Binko. Bringing her around. His fuel has gone red, but he's got plenty in there with 55 seconds left of racing. And he's having a super time in that Toyota this season. Ooh, I saw some movement, but it's nothing, I think. Pat making his way around again. 16 seconds between Binko and Racer Brown, but it's good points whilst Matt Psycho's not here for Binko to try catch up Matt Psycho in the championship. And when drop scores comes into it, it's anyone's game. Ruben saying I will join all of it. Okay, I'll do 2. Well, if you fancy it, I'm just pre-warning you. Usually it's a pattern we see when people join the Virtual Racers Club. They sign up for everything. And there goes. Is the time run out? Yes. Binko has finished. Sorry, I wasn't paying too much attention. So Binko crosses the line in 2nd place. Pat crosses the line in 4th. Jim crosses in 5th. With Skyjacker and Racer Brown out there carrying on. I think Skyjacker, oh, he's going to cross the line first, so we'll stick with Skyjacker on his last lap around here at Nürburgring. 52 laps. Is it 52? 53 for Racer Brown, but everyone else 52 laps. Skyjacker just wiggling her on home, trying to get some heat into those tyres, I imagine. They're still probably not even close to working. Racer Brown heading on. What a race he's had. It looked like there was nothing much in that Toyota. He was driving out the back for a while. And then a few incidents put him up behind Binko. Then he pitted early. You're the Binko. Short fueled it, came out ahead, and there goes Skyjacker crossing the line. Take a boo, my son, for third place. And Racer Brown bringing her home through the chicane. Around the final corner. But there's no rule, Ruben. You can join as many as you want. I'm just saying it's a pattern we see if people join Discord, join VRC, sign up to everything, and then halfway through the seasons they're like, I can't cope with all these races. And there you go, Racer Brown takes the win. 4th in a row, 5th of the season. Congratulations, Racer Brown. Unbelievable stuff. Fantastico. There he goes, Racer Brown. Holding his trophy aloft. It costs us a fortune, keep getting those trophies. It's ridiculous. Right then, I will take you to race results. And we'll go through them all. The extensive list of them that we've got. Well, this is what happens. I mean, it's round 8 of 10. People drift off. They don't want to come and. I mean, I don't know what sometimes people's motivations for racing is. Sometimes it's they don't race for the championship. They just race by race and enjoy the races for what they are. Some people just race for a championship, and when that championship's drifted away, they feel there's no point to come. But who knows? But that it is what it is. We had 5 people in the end. We still had fun. We tried to keep it entertaining for you, and that's the best we can do. But it's what it is. Sorry, Racer Brown finishing first, a lap ahead of. No, it wasn't a lap, but Racer Brown first. Binko in second. Skyjacker did amazing to get that podium back. So. Take a boo, my son. Pat in 4th, Jim in 5th. Racer Brown got your fastest lap on lap 39 with a 1:40.196. Right then, let's go to the chat where we see Pat saying, might have just beaten the clock to get onto lap 52 if I'd not have spun out of the last chicane. Skyjacker said, well done, Racer Brown. Flashman said, that's a hard race, well done all, and great comms again, Thingy. Oh, thank you, mate. Pat saying, apart from that, liked this one, didn't do too bad. You didn't do too bad at all, Pat, well done. Ruben saying, nice. Pat saying, you speak sense, burn out with 3 races a week and a couple of weeks of 4. It does catch up with you. And Pat saying, especially driving with the controller. Racer Brown saying, hello Thingy, how are we? I'm doing all right, mate. I just watched you win a race. It was brilliant. Thanks for the entertainment. It was great. You sold, well, in my opinion, you sold Binko a dummy there with that pit stop, nipping in, and only short filling. I think Binko came in, he put in more fuel, and you got yourselves a nice 5-second head start on him, and that was it. That's all you needed. That's all she wrote. It was great racing there. So, what have we got for you up for the rest of the week? Well, we have Monday night, the replay of the Clio Cups from Saturday night, if that doesn't confuse you. Yes, I will be live streaming a replay of Saturday night's race. It was great stuff, the Clio Cups. We were at Suzuka East, and it was tricky. It was tricky to keep those cars on the track, so I think you should turn up for the Spin Fest. That will be the Clio Cups, and that's round 7. Then it's a quiet week, really. We haven't got anything until Thursday night, when we've got the clash of the WRX Challenge back again, and this time they're getting real dirty because they're in the mud. Got to join us for Thursday night stream, because it is great when those WRXs get dirty. Then we have Friday night, the Max 5s, and they are rolling into Laguna Seca. I want to say Laguna Seca. I feel like saying Laguna Seca. I've got an urge to say Laguna Seca, but I will definitely tell you where we are rolling into. Hang on, someone will say it in the chat before I get there, and I'll think, how? No. It's Kyoto Driving Park, sorry. Nothing to do with Laguna Seca. Laguna Seca's not even on this this rotation, sorry. So yeah, Kyoto Driving Park. I think it's Kyoto Miyabi. So join us on Friday night for the Max 5s at Miyabi. Yeah, Miyabi. Well, I got that totally wrong. And then it's round 9 of the HPEC Sunday evening. I know there's not much racing going on at the moment. That Tuesday night really leaves a massive gap, doesn't it? Don't worry, something will be coming pretty soon, I am sure. So all I've got left to say is thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Don't forget, you can keep up to date with all our tables, and you can join our Discord through our website www.virtualracersclub.co.uk. Please give it a visit. Skyjack has put a lot of time and effort into it, and it looks very nice. In the chat then, what we got? Skyjacker saying Laguna was round 2. Oh, was it? Sorry. Flashman Laguna Seca is Clio Cup. Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking. Pat saying, I think it's Kyoto. It is. Skyjacker should have been Yamagawa. PMSL. I'll say the initials, not what they means. And Binko said, my Achilles heel. Strategy. There you go. Right. Thank you for joining us. It was a special time. I had a special time. I really enjoyed myself. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Stacey Recht. Thank you for joining us. Catch us again on Monday night, tomorrow night. Yeah, for the Clio Cups. Come and keep me company. It's weird doing replays. Okay, thank you guys. I'm out of here. Bye.